Yeah. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Only One KDB, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, we got WWE Wrestlemania 42 is cursed. Now, Triple H, me being the great guy that I am, I'm going to tell you how you can beat the curse. You're going to have to sacrifice Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. She's going to have to lose. That's how you can beat the curse. In order to reverse the curse, Jade Cargill got to win at WrestleMania. I'm just saying. That's what's going to need to happen. But now we about to get to the video. If y'all new to the channel, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell so you can get notified when I drop another banger. Shout out to Wrestlemania. We about to get to the video, man. Let's get it. I can't wait till WrestleMania, man. I can't wait to see my GOAT Liv Morgan hold up that title. It's going to be so crazy. It's going to be so perfect. It's going to have the perfect ending. It's going to be everything. I'm telling you. Just wait.
WrestleMania is the biggest show of the calendar year, but this year, something has just fell off. The match card itself seems to be made up on the fly, and there have been countless reports that WWE has pivoted when it comes to what the top matches on the show are going to be. On top of this, the build to the show itself feels subpar at best, and it's almost as if WWE are building towards SummerSlam rather than their annual showcase of the Immortals. So what exactly has gone wrong here, and why does WrestleMania 42 feel like Danhausen has cursed it?
You are cursed!
Be sure to subscribe to the notification bell for daily
Danhausen.
wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Pivots galore. There were early reports in August of 2025 that WWE were locking down the WrestleMania match card. Whilst this may sound way too early, this is fairly common in pro wrestling, and during Vince McMahon's heyday, he was prone to be thinking of WrestleMania matches a year in advance. The first reported match was Roman Reigns vs Cody Rhodes Part 3. It was widely reported that WWE were going to use Survivor Series, specifically War Games, to set up this match, and that's exactly what they did. And coming out of the show, it was clear that Reigns vs Rhodes Part 3 was going to main event Night 2 of the biggest show of the year for the third time. However, just a matter of weeks after this angle went down, it was then reported that the match was scrapped. Reports indicated that WWE couldn't appease both from a creative aspect, which likely meant that they couldn't agree on a finish medium. Both are arguably the two biggest names in the company, so it's possible that they didn't want to lose to the other. There is defined tension between the two, and Rhodes has even stated that this was present when they recently worked together on the Street Fighter movie. This tension should translate to an incredible angle, and it's a shame that both couldn't get on the same page. It's also been reported that there's a strong chance that WWE never delivers a third installment of their iconic rivalry. So this
one of them just didn't want to lose. I mean, you're gonna have that when you have two iconic figures, and they both of them two of the biggest in the business right now. So you're gonna have that. But somebody gotta put their pride to the side, man. Somebody gotta lose. It can't be a tie. So sometimes you gotta put your pride to the side, man, for the company. Shout out to John Cena. Do y'all think John Cena gonna return, or y'all think he just done? You know how wrestlers be retiring and then they just come back. Y'all think John Cena gonna do that, or you think he just finished?
Is evidently at a fever pitch. Unfortunately, this wasn't the only pivot for WrestleMania. When Drew McIntyre won the WWE title in January, which was a pivot in itself, WWE were then locked in on McIntyre vs Rhodes. But fans had zero interest in this feud, as their matches over the past 6 months haven't delivered, and even the reported added stipulation of a Hell in a Cell did little to warrant excitement. This fan resentment led to yet another pivot. Rhodes would then win the WWE title back, and Randy Orton would turn heel, setting the stage for Rhodes vs Orton on the grand stage. Now, whilst pivots in pro wrestling are nothing new, this is happening virtually every year in the Triple H era, and it's almost as if the game just can't stick to a plan. A lack of direction. But whilst pivots are understandable, there are zero excuses for the lack of direction for top names within WWE.
Come on, Triple H, man, you gotta lock in. Why you keep changing the plan on the fly? You might as well call up Vince McMahon for some tips. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he'll help you out. You can't. Come on now, you gotta lock in, man. Triple H, now I think you've been doing a tremendous job and replacing Vince McMahon. You've been doing what you could. I know people been hard on you on Twitter and the WWE universe. They've been booing you and all kind of stuff, man. They trying to turn you into a heel, Triple H. I say you just lean into it, man, and become the heel. That'd be perfect. they already. I ain't gonna say they dislike you, but I think they don't like your booking. I don't think they dislike you as a wrestler or a person. I just don't think they like how you be booking the shows and stuff like that.
When it comes to Brock Lesnar, Lesnar is one of the biggest names in the entire company. It was just reported last week before Lesnar vs Obafemi was made official that WWE were working out who was even going to face him on the grand stage. What on earth was happening here? Why was the WrestleMania card and Lesnar's match still being determined just weeks before WrestleMania? It's almost as if this year Triple H has forgotten the show is occurring, which is baffling, as WrestleMania should be the creative height of WWE, but this can't be said right now. As things stand, there are countless top names without a match on the show, and the scary thing is it's been widely reported that at least one of these names could miss the show entirely. One of these names is LA Knight. LA remains to be one of the most over acts in the entire company, but WWE just can't commit to booking him in a meaningful feud. He's been locked in the Vision Vortex for pretty much the entire year, and he should have walked into WrestleMania season with a clear direction in sight. We're just a matter of weeks away from WrestleMania, and LA Knight is in the midst of a storyline involving the Usos, but it looks like he has no match set for WrestleMania. And it goes to show that LA Knight is a name that WWE just have no idea to use effectively. Another key name that is set to miss WrestleMania right now is Gunther. Yeah, that's right, the man who just retired John Cena 3 months ago. Gunther walked into WrestleMania last year as the world champion, but the latest reports on his WrestleMania status indicates that Gunther was set to face Rey Mysterio, but now due to Rey Mysterio's medical status, Gunther has been left without an opponent. Logic would have suggested that WWE simply pivots, as after all, they've pivoted for pretty much every other top name on the show.
Gunther, I know who you can face. Me. Triple H, put me in a ring, man. Me and Gunther, one-on-one. Come on, Gunther don't want to see me, man. I ain't John Cena. You know what I'm saying? I get active in the ring now. Don't get it twisted.
WWE's written themselves into a corner. In the summer of last year, Gunther debuted a career killer character, and the majority of his top matches have been retirement matches. This has been seen with Goldberg, John Cena, and now recently AJ Styles. This means it would be totally nonsensical for Gunther to wrestle at the biggest show of the year and not incorporate this gimmick at all. The gimmick was probably the best and worst thing to possibly happen to him, and it's now looking likely that he'll miss this show entirely, simply because of the corner WWE booked themselves into. There are calls from fans to see Gunther face LA Knight, but the two have barely interacted on television, and it would be obvious that this wasn't WWE's initial direction. One idea thrown out there by fans is to see Gunther drop the gimmick entirely, and this could work, but it would make the 3 retirement matches completely pointless. Ultimately, something has gone seriously wrong when the man who retired one of the greatest of all time is being left off the WrestleMania card entirely. Identity crisis. One of the most confusing things about the WrestleMania build this year relates to the theming. When the initial promos dropped for the show, it was apparent that WWE were going for a classy theme, a sort of high roller casino theme. And this was a smart move, as it was in stark contrast to the approach taken with last year's event. However, when the match graphics began to drop, it appeared that WWE had pivoted from this, and it was going to go with a futuristic theme. Then, a matter of days later, a dystopian Mad Max style graphic format began to implement across all of WWE's social media. It was then rumored that WWE were going to be using different themes for each respective night, but they've switched this around multiple times over the past 2 weeks. To make things worse, every week on Raw, a new match card graphic format debuts, and it's either being done deliberately to get the fans talking, or it's just WWE having no idea what theme they actually want to go with.
Wow.
It was reported a number of weeks ago that they were under pressure to lock in the graphics for the show, and since then, they've changed their style countless times. Now, of course, this won't be a big deal for a lot of fans, but it shows that WWE just still has no idea what's going on, even with the graphics of WrestleMania causing confusion. The actual build. So what about the actual build to WrestleMania? Has it delivered? Well, not really. Both Raw and SmackDown feel like they're building to B-level pay-per-views, and the shows are missing that drive and intensity that WrestleMania season truly needs. The top matches on the Raw brand for WrestleMania is CM Punk vs Roman Reigns, and the build centers around Punk making a personal jab at Reigns' late father, Sika. Whilst the initial promo work started really strong, WWE reintroduced the Usos to Reigns' side, and the stories become muddled. There's no clear heel in the feud, so a lot of fans are confused as to who they're supposed to be rooting for in the match, and WWE are being urged to revolve the feud around their vast history, rather than one specific remark. Elsewhere on Raw, Liv Morgan vs Stephanie Vaquer did start off strong, but there's definitely an issue on how WWE presents women's feuds on the road to WrestleMania. The women's feuds are never given intense angles like their male colleagues, and the women stand little chance in main eventing the show again if they aren't given the resources to get their stories over. Now, at least one success story.
We ain't main eventing. Triple H, hold on. Time out. Flag on the play. Liv Morgan not main eventing at WrestleMania? Triple H, we had an agreement! You said the winner of the Royal Rumble would main event WrestleMania. So we was lied to, basically. Come on now, Triple. Come on, man. I just gave you earlier. I just gave you props, Triple H. This is how you do me. Now my client would like to file an appeal for this egregious act. Come on, Triple. We got a main event WrestleMania, man. Don't nobody want to see no Cody and Roman Reigns or whoever pulled to be fighting. We want to see Liv Morgan hoist up that title, man. Let's continue. This is some bull jive.
Red brand has been over Femi versus Brock Lesnar. Lesnar is going all out to make Femi look like an absolute monster and a star, and WWE does deserve credit for handling the build perfectly. Hopefully the final product delivers at WrestleMania and WWE doesn't waste this opportunity to make Femi the next big thing in the company. On the SmackDown side, the top match is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, and the feud is only 2 weeks in, and so far the feud is delivering. There is concern that Orton isn't going to be booed as a heel, and it'll be interesting to see how this translates in the coming weeks. The other big match on the show is Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. Now, the feud started off in a big way as the two engaged in a heated social media war, but this hasn't really translated well over to TV in any capacity. The two have been given very little to work with on SmackDown, and there is a defined lack of interest in their match, which is a huge shame, as the potential is certainly there to deliver something special. The injuries.
You know why people ain't excited for the match? Because we all know the inevitable about to happen. Rhea Ripley is about to win. That's why ain't nobody excited. Talking about the build up is not that good. Oh, people not excited about the match. Why would they be if they already know the outcome? We know Rhea Ripley is about to win. I done said this 1,000 times. Now my client Jade, we would like to win, but unfortunately, we can't beat the powers that be. And the powers that be is Rhea Ripley, because I don't know why. But let's continue. Start.
WrestleMania 42 has been bumpy to say the very least. It's been significantly reshaped by a string of untimely injuries, forcing WWE to pivot creatively and adjust several marquee matches. One of the most impactful setbacks came from the injury of Bron Breakker, who suffered a hernia at the time when he was being positioned for a major breakout moment with a huge match against Seth Rollins. Whilst there's still some optimism in WWE about Breakker returning in time back for the show of shows, nothing is certain just quite yet, and if Breakker ultimately isn't cleared for WrestleMania, then Seth Rollins will have to be left off the card. Similarly, Jordynne Grace's ankle injury has disrupted plans in the women's division. Grace was reportedly going to be involved in the women's US title scene. According to reports, there had been plans internally for a triple threat match featuring Julia, Jordynne Grace, and Tiffany Stratton. However, since her ankle injury, those plans could not go ahead. Another injury which caused a major shift in plans was the injury of Bianca Belair, who suffered a broken finger. Her injury actually reshaped the entire road to WrestleMania for the Women's Championship, as there were plans for Bianca Belair to initially win the Royal Rumble and then go on to WrestleMania to face Jade Cargill. When it seemed obvious that Bianca Belair was in no shape to return, WWE had to pivot, and they pivoted well with Rhea Ripley being put in the title scene again. Whilst it's unclear what Bronson Reed was going to do at WrestleMania 42, his
Oh, so Rhea Ripley basically got Bianca Belair's spot. That's interesting. So she wasn't in the original plans, Triple H. My bad. I apologize for going so hard on you earlier. When I said Rhea Ripley was going... I mean, Rhea Ripley's still going to win. I mean, you're a fool if you think otherwise. But, yeah, man, Bianca Belair, her broken finger messed everything up. Speedy recovery, Bianca Belair, man. We miss EST, man. We want you back in the ring so we can move Rhea Ripley out the way. I'm not a Rhea Ripley hater, y'all. I just be trolling. I know the Rhea Ripley fans hate me. It's all good though, man. I just be trolling for the love of the game.
Also shifted. Plans also had to be pivoted due to his unfortunate injury of a distal bicep tear. Overall, these injuries have pushed WWE into reactive booking. The injuries are akin to how cursed WrestleMania 32 was, as the event had been marred by a number of injuries that caused a number of matches to not go ahead. But is this a sleeper mania? A WWE champion Cody Rhodes has stated that fans should expect a sleeper mania this year. In essence, this means that the show may look kinda meh on paper, but the final product will deliver. Now, in fairness to Rhodes, there have been numerous WrestleMania events with poor bills, and who can forget WrestleMania 31, as the show had truly abysmal delivering one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time. A truly abysmal build, and WWE ended up delivering one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time. Now, WWE still has 3 weeks to turn things around, and hopefully they're able to deliver the goods. But with that being said, even if the show ultimately delivers from a quality perspective, history isn't going to be kind when it comes to the road to the show, as it's highlighted how much of a mess the WWE creative team is in, and how WWE truly needs to get their act together. What do you guys think? Is WrestleMania 42 cursed? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll...
Alright, that's gonna do it, man. If y'all enjoyed that reaction video, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to Wrestlemania. Let me know if y'all excited for WrestleMania 42 or y'all think it's cursed. Let me know what matches y'all want the most, what matches y'all excited for. Me personally, I'm excited for Liv Morgan and Stephanie because I know my client will be walking out as champion. I'm not excited for Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. I do want to see my client Jade Cargill in the ring and wrestling and stuff. I'm excited to see that. But I already know Rhea Ripley is going to win, so I'm not excited for that at all. Move that out of the way. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I don't think that's happening, so yeah, I don't know. But we out of here, man. If y'all enjoyed that reaction video, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. It seemed to me like WrestleMania 42 gonna be underwhelming. It seemed like nobody excited. The build up is not that good. So I just say we just bring John Cena back for a surprise entrance or something. I don't fucking know. Maybe John Cena can help out the company once more after retirement. Bring John Cena back and have him do something. I don't know what you have. Have him interrupt the match or something like that. Have him do his move, the what's that? The attitude adjustment through a table or something like that. Like have him put somebody through a table and him just walk off. He ain't gotta take no damage or nothing. You can just lift somebody up and toss them on the table. But I'm out of here, man.